When Geraldine and I tell our girls about growing up in the 80s and 90s, it's like talking about a whole different planet.
We used to play outside till the streetlights came on.
We drank straight out of the water hose, ran everywhere, explored, got lost, got hurt, busted our knees, our heads, and our butts. Nobody knew where we were, what we were doing, or who we were with.
I'm Chris Jones. I'm a rocket scientist, a minister, and a girl dad. And I have a theory about why childhood and everything else feels different now. Because gravity hasn't changed, but the price of a trip to the hospital has.
Blue jeans, Jordans, gas, groceries, and health insurance.
Everything is more expensive, and it's scaring us out of risk, innovation, and the joy of life itself. It was more affordable to fall, to fail, to get back up. And our parents trusted America enough to let us run free. Bankruptcy was for gamblers and crooked real estate developers, not middle-class families, not teachers, not cancer patients.
I'm running for Congress because the fall of the American working class wasn't an accident. It was a political decision. Meet my congressman, French Hill, the most powerful banker in America.
He's my opponent, but he's your problem too. He chairs the Financial Services Committee and fights anything that looks like consumer protection. The law to limit overdraft fees to $5.
This is a change that could save American households $5 billion in overdraft charges every year.
French Hill killed it. Yep, they even found a way to make being broke more expensive.
If there's anybody who's got to go, it's him. I'm blessed. I studied hard, earned 2 degrees from Morehouse College, then 2 masters and a PhD from MIT. I married my best friend, who's a combat veteran and an ER doctor. God gave us 3 beautiful daughters, and along that journey, I earned the votes of 319,000 Arkansans who believe we deserve better. I have good news for you. You can still go outside till the streetlights come on. We call it organizing. Just you and a few friends fighting for your freedom, standing up for each other. We have 12 months to win this election.
We have a poll that makes this a 1-point race and a grassroots organization that has been growing for 3.5 years.
This district is full of fighters. We're doing the hard work, and we need you to join us.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Showtime, showtime, the Geno Jones Showtime. So I come to you live Monday through Friday. It is Tuesday. Yes, it is Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. And Taco Tuesday for folks that like tacos. I'm not a taco person, but hey, listen, knock yourself out, have fun. Shout out to all those celebrating Cinco de Mayo, Monday through Friday. The Geno Jones Show, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Tell everybody to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. I would love to have you as part of the Geno Jones Show family. If you'd like to be a sponsor, you'd like to advertise, hey, listen, reach out. There you go. Shoot me an email, GenoJonesShow@gmail. I'll give you all the information about sponsorship, and I'll tell you at the end of the show how you can financially support the show via Zelle or Cash App. GenoJonesShow@gmail. All right, let's jump this thing up. Oh, by the way, the show is interactive. Yes, the show is interactive. What does that mean? That means, thank you. You know, the enemy is busy here. Let me slide over here while I just continue to speak to you slightly off camera here. You know, we have to rebuke Satan because he is busy, but we don't mess with him. We don't F with Satan on the show. Okay, all right. How are we doing on this Tuesday? We're surviving, we're thriving. We're not surviving. We are thriving. We are absolutely thriving. So today's monologue, I want to shout out, because I shouted these young people out. I've been shouting them out for a while, and I'm really proud of these young people. Shout out to the students, especially the graduating seniors at South Carolina State University Orangeburg, South Carolina, which is, from, let's say, the airport in the Charleston metro area, 30 minutes maybe 30 minutes, not quite 40, maybe 40, less than 45 minutes from down, if you were like the heart of downtown Charleston, and go all the way out on I-26, you get there 40. If you drive slow, you'll be there in 45 minutes. More like that. More like somewhere 35 to 40 minutes. But I digress. So South Carolina State University has been a trending topic. It has been in the news. It's just social media. So let me catch you up in case if you hadn't caught up. Maybe you've been on a rock somewhere. I don't know, you in a coma. I pray not. We speak nothing but life and happiness, life, love, joy, happiness, and health. But I digress. So the president of South Carolina State University, President Alexander Conyers. Now, I can't confirm this, but when you are the president, the buck stops with you. So South Carolina State University told their graduating class, their commencement speaker was going to be a person named Pamela Yvette, who is the current lieutenant governor of South Carolina, who is running to be the next governor of South Carolina to replace Governor Henry McMaster, a.k.a. Governor Foghorn Leghorn. I say there, son, but not quite that articulate. If you could find like a really rube, kind of like really unarticulate, sound like he dropped out of second grade version of Foghorn Leghorn, I'm dating myself. All right, so if you're like under 40, Foghorn Leghorn. So Bugs Bunny, they used to have these cartoons, and Bugs Bunny and Friends. It was a cartoon, Bugs Bunny and Friends, and he had all these friends. And one of the friends was a guy named, it was like a rooster named Foghorn Leghorn. I'll say there, son. I'll say there, son. He was like a country dude, you know, but he was, I guess, supposed to be like an aristocratic. But anyway, so I tease Governor McMaster. I call him the uneducated first cousin of Foghorn Leghorn. So I call him Governor Foghorn, because he just, if you hear him talk, you like, but he was appointed governor. But I think he did win a re-election. He replaced a woman named Nikki Haley. Wow, we're going back in the day. Anyway, I digress. So Pamela Yvette is the current lieutenant governor of South Carolina. So South Carolina State University students, the graduating class of 2026 found out that this woman, Pamela Yvette, was speaking. They were like, wait, hold on, wait a minute, time out, President Conyers. Are we doing this? And the students, they protested because Pamela Yvette is an unabashed, avowed, with her full chest, MAGA cult member. And she called these students who were brilliant, just super brilliant, the epitome of brilliance and articulate and just aware, awake, because being awake is a good thing. See, people that want to oppress you and steal your money and give it to billionaires and take away your health care and your SNAP benefits and your veterans benefits and all that, and say they don't have money for daycare. They want you to be asleep so they can continue to dig in your pockets. That's what they want to do. But they try to reverse engineer. Oh, woke is bad. Like, what is woke supposed to really? What do you? But they being this MAGA cult, woke is like somehow almost they implying that it's bad and it's gonna harm folks. It's like reverse racism. Black people in America have never, ever been in a position to be racist. Now they can be prejudiced, they can have bigotry in their heart. Racism is something else, because that's when you attach hate, bigotry, when you put bigotry and power and control of all the institutions and levers of a society. That's where you get because racism is real, but I digress. So the students in South Carolina said, no, wait a minute, Pamela Avedis, she is dyed in the wool, hardcore MAGA. And then she called these young people a woke mob and said that as soon as she became governor, that she was going to, her words, I'm quoting, she will be ending radical DEI scams. Now, you are going to a historically black university. Virtually all the students are black. You're going to a historically black university. With that meant, but you publicly, you called these young people because they were like, no. Your morals, because the morals you support are immorality. Because you support Orange Hitler, you got them, in your campaign ads, and you are like, DEI, I'm getting rid of that as a scam, and you call these kids a woke mob and everything. So that means you support the bigotry and the hatred in all of its forms, snatching up American citizens and shooting American citizens on the street, even white ones, Alex Preddy and Renee Good. So you are with that regime, that mentality, that scourge and virus and disease of hatred and bigotry, and where you've taken bigotry and hate and misogyny and sexism and patriarchy and bigotry and hate in all of its forms, and really hate for anybody that's not a white Christian billionaire man, really. Because that's what this MAGA cult is rooted in. And then you take that hate and you slap a label on it and you call it white Christian nationalism. Yes, where the white man is the head of the household, he's the head of the society. Only white men who have families, the white man is the head of the society, and we should pass a law that only the man could vote for the entire household. What kind of crazy bullshit is that? And the stunt the Supreme Court did in terms of basically weakening the Voting Rights Act. There's a lot now. All these states, including South Carolina. So we have one Democratic district in the U.S. House of Representatives, represented by my Congressman Jim Clyburn. And all these states are going in to redraw these districts to where it will be hard for black people to have representation or to have black Congress people, especially in the House of Representatives, because that's where because you can't draw House Senate, it's a statewide. So it's the whole state. So you can't really rig, you can't really, if y'all only knew what I really wanted to say, and I say anything on this show, but okay, bigotry and hatred, white supremacy rig, these House districts all over immediately, all these states, all these governors and members of these House not House seats, but these members of the state houses, state representatives and governors like, hey, yeah, we got to redraw these maps to get these Negroes out of here. Basically going past pre-1965, pre-Civil Rights Act, pre-Voting Rights Act, Civil Rights Act 1964, Voting Rights Act passed 1965, Fair Housing Act passed in 1968. They want to go all the way to the end of Reconstruction, like 1877, 1878. In essence, the modern day Jim Crow 2.0, Jim Crow 2026. That's exactly legally what these states are trying to do. What the Supreme Court, with this MAGA Supreme Court, and Pamela Avedis, she stands for all of this. And the students of South Carolina State said no. They stood up for themselves. They stood up for each other. They showed up for themselves. They showed up for each other. They spoke out. They stood up, spoke out, shouted to the rooftops. No, hell no. This heifer is not going to be speaking at our graduation. I still want to know President Alexander Conyers, a black man, a beautiful family, got a beautiful African-American wife, two beautiful kids. I saw the picture. I went to as a matter of fact, I called his office. I was like, really? Really? Now, I can't confirm it. I hear that, President Conyers might be, footsies, playing footsies and, rubbing toes with MAGA. He may not be Byron Donalds, who's running to be governor of Florida. He may not be, he may be more like because Tim Scott, we all know that he's like a MAGA, a cult member, Sambo type dude. But, he's not like the flame throwing kind of guy. He tries to come across as, oh yeah, I'm Tim Scott and love and peace but you have voted for, and you represent and you support this president. And then he was on television a couple of weeks ago lying, talking about, oh yeah, the price of gas is going down. Dude, stop, come on. Tim Scott, brother, from North Charleston, South Carolina. All right, I'm right here in the Charleston metro area. Come on, Tim Scott, I know people that know you, but dude, you have gone back to your master's house with the bandana on your head, with your tap shoes on. Yeah. Mammy, mammy, yes, master. Come on. And the truth is that these MAGA cult members, these white nationalists, they don't like you. You are a tool. You, Byron Donalds, Clarence Thomas. Yeah, they'll give you, you ain't gonna get the billions. You're not gonna be in that class, but they'll make sure that they break you off enough to keep you docile and to keep you quiet. And I have to call it like it is. I absolutely have to call it like it is. A tree is judged by the fruit it bears. Let me say that again. A tree is judged by the fruit it bears. And the fruit that you have been bearing, Senator Tim Scott and Clarence Thomas, and you got some members in the House, some of these other Negroes in the House. And I'm not anti-anybody. I am pro-humanity, but I am unapologetically pro-black, because America, in the year of our Lord 2026, where the white nationalists and those who have bought into the anti-blackness, the anti-brown, even though a lot of these brown folks, they bought into the anti-blackness and bigotry and racism, while their asses they were the first ones to get snatched up and thrown out of the damn country. So the students of South Carolina said, no, 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 no. And the President Alexander Conyers, I would love to get him on. Anybody watching the show now live, and I know a lot of folks are, I see you. Thank you, everybody. Jump in my chat room also if you got a comment. As a matter of fact, somebody can call President Conyers, the president of South Carolina State University, and the chairman of the board of South Carolina State. I forgot it. I saw his name somewhere. I would love to, listen, fish, there's a saying, fish rots from the head down. All right? Leadership or lack of leadership or corrupt leadership, whatever form of leadership in an organization or even a household, it starts at the top. So if the head is rotten, the body is going to die. The body's going to rot too. So I cannot shout out these students enough. Their graduation is Friday. Shout out to South Carolina State University. I'm going to have Representative J.A. Moore. He's in the South Carolina State House. He's a House member right here in South Carolina. As a matter of fact, I'm not in his district. I think I used to live in his district, but I moved. But a friend of the show, a powerful brother, just brilliant dude. So he's going to be my guest tomorrow. But shout out to the students at South Carolina State University. Now, so they were eight. Speaking of House members of the South Carolina House of Representatives. So there are 8. I got their names. So there were 8 members of the South Carolina House of Representatives. They drafted a letter calling for the state of South Carolina to defund South Carolina State University, which is it is a public university. It is a historically black university. It's called what they call a land grant college. I'm not going to give you that history lesson. However, I will refer you to do some research. There's something called the second Morrill. I believe it's Morrill or Morrill, Morrill because it's 2 L's. Morrill. The second Morrill Act of 1890 basically says that all the land grant universities in a state. So we have Clemson University. They're known for their football team. They won a national championship within the last 15 years or so. So if you're a big college football fan, you know Clemson University. A little small college town. Clemson it's like northwest of the Charleston Metro, the northwest part of the state. That's the only thing in Clemson is the university. That's it. That's the whole damn town. But it's what they call a land grant based university. But this Morrill Act, this is the second one, the second Morrill Act of 1890 says that for every dollar that a state funds one land grant university, they have to give $1 to the other university. So for every dollar that Clemson University was given to, however it worked out, grants or whatever, for every dollar the state gave to Clemson University, they were supposed to give $1 to match that dollar for dollar with South Carolina State University. So apparently, whoever was head of the Department of Education during the Biden administration, they did a little research, a little background, because they know this law existed. So the bottom line, it turns out that the state of South Carolina owes South Carolina State University $500 million. I'm gonna pull my Austin Powers, Dr. Evil, $500 million, $500 million. This is based on data from the last 30 years. $500 million. The state of South Carolina owes South Carolina State University. So, to the lawmakers in the State House of Representatives up in Columbia, South Carolina, about an hour and 20 minutes from where I'm standing right now, Governor McMaster and Lieutenant Governor Pamela Yvette, who is pissed off and called the students at South Carolina State University a mob, a woke mob, and said that she will be ending radical DEI scams, and said that about a historically black university. So before you have any conversation about defunding, taking away money or stop sending money to South Carolina State University, what you need to do, you need to run South Carolina State University, you need to run the Bulldogs, you need to run them a check. You need to run them their money. Run them or give them, because you may not know, what do you mean, run them the money? Run the money? Yeah, run the money. I didn't mean it literally, but if you want to run the money, put the money in some suitcases and run it to them. Run them their money means give them their money. Cut the check, forget the check, direct deposit the money. I don't know what kind of endowment they have, but $500 million would be a nice little donation. It's not even a donation. That is money that is owed to South Carolina State Universities. And these white nationalists and these racists that have control, because they're not all not racist. Let me say it with me again. A tree is judged by the fruit it bears. So you may not be out there yelling N-word, 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 and you may not be like, oh, DEI, and we got to get rid of DEI. DEI means anti-black. That's what DEI means. Anti-DEI means that we have to get rid of everything black. Black progress, black economics. Anti-DEI means Jim Crow. That we are returning to Jim Crow. Any progress, the Voting Rights Act, 1960, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the Fair Housing Act of Federal Fair Housing Act of 1968. Get rid of all of that. Desegregation, Brown versus the Board of Ed. They want to get, as a matter of fact, your boy Orange Hitler signed an executive order. Probably forgot this, did you? Or did you not? Maybe you didn't. Your boy Orange Hitler, as soon as he got in office, back in the White House, that he's tore that shit up, building a ballroom and a bunker, or bigger bunker, and so the ballroom. People paying on the low $4.50 for gas. Some states, folks, is paying $7. If you got to put premium, even here in South Carolina, if you put premium gas, because a lot of cars you can't put that 87 octane. So if you got to put the 93 in your car, even here in South Carolina, you're paying over $5 a gallon. And forget it, man, if you got a truck and you have to put diesel in your truck or your car, man, you paying damn near $6, or right at $6 a gallon. All right. So, but your boy, Orange Hitler, signed an executive order saying that any government contractor, if you have a contract with the United States governor, that you can basically, it is okay to have segregated facilities. You can look it up. You don't have to take my word for it. I don't expect you to. Find out for yourself. F around and find out. He signed, yes, Orange Hitler signed as soon as he got back in office. He signed an executive order that basically allowed anyone, any government contractor, if you are a business and you have a contract with the federal government under this regime, you can have separate facilities. It's okay. Damn the Civil Rights Act. I don't give a damn about that. Anti-DEI means anti-black. It is a war on black America. Economically, politically, the Supreme Court has allowed all these southern states to basically redraw, rejigger, rig, draw the districts in a way to where black elected officials won't be elected, and to strip away any political power that black people have. And the weird thing in the South Carolina is really, they say it's about a quarter of the state is African American. It's actually closer to a third. Last number I saw was over 27%. They probably undercount. So really, South Carolina is closer to a third black than a quarter black. Mississippi, damn near 40% of the state is black. Louisiana, somewhere around 34, 35%. Alabama's probably somewhere near 30%, maybe upper 20, somewhere from a fourth to a third of the population of Alabama is black. But these white nationalists they're going back. They want to go beyond Jim Crow. To hell with 1877, 1878, when Jim Crow laws began to take hold and they began to be written in America. They want to go back to pre-Civil War. And they say it with their full chest, and they are showing you. And just like doing it dirty, it's like rules, like fuck a rule. We are the white man. We can do whatever we want to do. And who's gonna stop me? As you Negroes say, who's gonna check me, boo? You gonna find out. Because young brothers and sisters, like the seniors and those I saw speaking at South Carolina State University, they gonna check your ass. And Uncle G gonna help them. And you got some fair-minded white people and some fair-minded Hispanics that are not brainwashed with the bigotry, and some fair-minded Asian Americans and that haven't been brainwashed with the bullshit and the bigotry, and some Native Americans, and even your MAGA cult members are being like, hold on. It was okay when you were deporting the Mexicans and taking away the jobs from the Negroes, because I ain't like to see the Negroes with a house bigger than mine and those fancy new cars, and my ass is driving an old raggedy ass pickup truck, you know, with the floor bed, a hole in the floor bed, and I can stop the car with my feet like Fred Flintstone. Now you see that this whole race is called a social construct by social scientists. It is a con game. It was created for a small handful of Europeans who never called themselves white till the 15th and 16th century. They created that because they really didn't give a shit about these poor Europeans they called peasants. But they knew that these poor Europeans, these peasants, would get pissed off and figure out, oh, these elite, these wealthy Europeans, they don't give a shit about us, and they're taking advantage of us. And they create a system where we will never be able to reach or ascend to their level. They don't want to be bothered with us. All these royal monarchy families where they was marrying their first and second cousins, keeping it the wealth and power in the family. Come on, y'all. But now a lot of these MAGA cult members are waking up. Because guess what? If they got to put 93 octane in their car, they got to pay $5. And if they got a truck and that truck needs diesel, they paying $6 a gallon. And they've lost their health insurance with the Medicaid, and more Medicaid cuts are coming, or more Medicare cuts are coming. Medicaid cuts, the U.S. House of Representatives, the MAGA cult members, they voted to take away roughly $180 billion from SNAP. And guess what? The majority of people on SNAP in America are white people, primarily white women with children. Oh, but they don't want you to have children. Here in this state, they're passing a law to where if a child is raped but terminates the pregnancy, they will charge the child with murder. Oh, they don't give a shit about the rapist. She brought it on herself. She was probably dressing and shaking her little tail, and fast self sat in his lap. That's what the racists and the misogynists and the sexists, that's what they'll say. And they're voting that way. So, once again, judge a tree by the fruit it bears. This state has been under MAGA, Republican/MAGA rule. I have been here 21 years. This state, for 21 years, has ranked in the top 10 domestic violence. Several years, it was #1 in the nation for domestic violence, incidents of domestic violence. It is in the bottom third: education, income, health outcomes. All these vital categories, South Carolina ranks near the bottom. Like the average, no unions, they call it a right to work state, which means they don't like unions because they don't want to pay people. That means, I call it a right to work for free. for 2 decades. Poor white folks are poorer now than they've been 2 decades ago. But y'all still voting for y'all orange lord and master. Because make America great and get rid of them niggers and them N-words and the DEI. Dumbass, you don't need to understand history. They don't give a shit about you. Not at all. But more and more of these white MAGA cult members are finding, y'all effed around, now you finding out. Because you're going to lose your Medicare and your Medicaid and your Social Security, not to mention the veterans. They're cutting veterans benefits, but they just spent $50 billion on this war in Iraq, which you let Bibi Netanyahu's racist ass lead you into, the racist prime minister of Israel. Lied about, Iran's got, now I just saw today, apparently, one of the foreign news outlets, I think it was Reuters. So I think there's the CIA, there's a report talking about, well, yes, Iran actually, they still have all this thing called enriched uranium to make a nuclear weapon. But at the same time, last June, Orange Hitler and Bibi Netanyahu, they bombed and bragged, we've obliterated all of their nuclear capabilities, but they didn't get rid of the material, the uranium, to build a bomb. But they don't have a missile, what they call an intercontinental ballistic missile, to reach the United States, and they don't have one. They don't have nuclear weapons like a nuclear warhead to attach. They don't have the missile to reach the United States. They don't have the missiles, but they don't even have the nuclear. They call it a warhead. The piece of nuclear material that they put in one of these missiles. They call them intercontinental ballistic missiles that could travel to the United States. Iran don't have that. Bibi Netanyahu have been, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, President Obama all said Bibi Netanyahu's racist. All the way back to Bill Clinton, that Bibi Netanyahu has been trying to get America to, go ahead and attack Iran with us. And then the Iranians, they shut down that Strait of Hormuz. So now all these oil tankers can't really get gas out. And if they do, they got to, and then so the U.S. said, well, we're going to blockade, since the Iranians, they have, and now, so the Iranians, they got little speedboats firing at U.S. Military ships, and the U.S. military, so they got this back and forth. So none of these oil companies, they're like, shit, because the insurance companies, the companies that insure these companies, that insure these vessels, they're like, nope. You can go ahead, you can F around and find out. You send one of those oil tankers through that Strait of Hormuz, and if it gets blown up, don't call us as the insurance company. Forget that claim. Don't bother filing it, because we ain't cutting you a check. You're going to be ass out. That's it. That's all. Good night. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Tell everybody, like, share, subscribe. Thank you. The show is interactive when I'm on camera live. If you got a comment, a question, and please, love, like, or disagree, whatever. Haters, that's fine. Jump in there too. Leave your conversations in my chat. I mean, in the comment section. When I'm on camera, I want you to jump in the chat room and give me your comments, or if you got a question or whatever, you want me to shout somebody out. But leave your comments in the comment section below. Right there, you see comments. Please leave your comments in there. I love to see them. I don't care what you got to say. I don't care if you love the show, like the show, love me, can't stand me, whatever. I'm good. My mother loved me. She watching right now. My family loves me. I love myself. And God loves me. So y'all, my haters, it's fuel. I'm that dude. You talking about I'm that guy? I'm that dude. I'm that dude like, yes, talk your talk, because I talk and tell jokes for a living. So you won't win this battle. So, and I don't waste time, but when I do, trust me, when I do open it up, woo, no, that's that May Taurus, 15 days, you'll get these horns, baby, and these horns will gore your ass. But do it with a smile, because I'm not a violent person. I love people. I love humanity. My compassion, I lean into humanity. We are living in a time, it's a choice between humanity and inhumanity. And I hate inhumanity. I have no tolerance for inhumanity. I have no tolerance for inhumanity. I have no tolerance for inhumanity, bigotry. That's what happens when too many words come out. So I have no tolerance for inhumanity, bigotry, or bullshit, misogyny, sexism, anti-blackness, really. Even the racist white nationalists, the hate, I don't know. I don't have to, it's not my nature to hate, but I have minus, not zero tolerance, minus tolerance, because it's easy to lean into humanity. It's much easier to lean into the humanity and our humanity than hate, because hate is poison. Do you know that hate will eat you up? It releases toxic chemicals. It raises the cortisol level. Cortisol level is a hormone. They call it the fight or flight hormone. But that cortisol, if it is coursing through your body on a regular basis, it's not good. It affects your blood pressure, heart rate, and other hormones. It is not good. And hate is like drinking poison. Hatred is like drinking poison and expecting the person you hate to die. Because that hate, that's in you. You are feeding yourself. And your body is feeding on that hate and turning that energy, that hatred, in a biochemical way where it's releasing hormones that do not help, only hurt your health and your body. That's a fact, Jack. That's the fact, Jack. All right, I'll see you live on Wednesday. Yes, we call it a Working Divas Wednesday edition of the Geno Show. Shout out to Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out on Instagram, IGLX.NCL_LX.NCL_. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO, Designer Cuts. Check him out online on Instagram, on IG. Kel be cutting up. So you got the fresh, look at that. What was in there today? Got that fresh, baby. Look at that fresh. KELBECUTTINUP. Shout out to Kel. Markel Bailey, he's a bad man, baby. He's the master barber's master barber. Check him out. Y'all go ahead and clip this video. Send it to Kel. Let him know. Man, he's the official sponsor. He's the official barber for the show. So we always give him a shout out. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you live on Wednesday. Our expected guest, South Carolina State Representative J.A. Moore. More about the situation with South Carolina State University. I'm curious to find out who is going to be their commencement speaker for this Friday. And once again, to all the students, especially the class of 2026, those graduating seniors, but the underclassmen and women, the juniors, the sophomore, even the freshmen, I am so, so proud of you. Uncle G is really proud of you, brothers. As a matter of fact, these young people, this is what it looks like when you show up for yourself, when you show up for each other, when you stand up for yourself, And when you stand up for each other and you stand in solidarity and you let your voice be heard, you lift your voice because you have a voice, you have agency, you have power. You have the power. And that's why these punks and these racists are paranoid, because they know that if you ever realize how much power that you have and you step into that power, all of this hatred and bigotry, this bullshit will be over. Over. Done. And it's like a child who's sleepy and don't want to go to bed. They just fighting and acting, just all of this. All of this bigotry and anti-blackness and just anti-humanity. How they've, bastardized their version, white Christian nationalism, which has nothing to do with Christianity and everything to do with hatred, with bigotry, hatred, and power over everybody that's not a white Christian man. And one that's got a lot of billionaire. Because the billionaire white men, they don't give a shit about the poor white man. As a matter of fact, they look down upon them more than they do a black person or a brown person. Because the attitude of the white men, the white male billionaires, the attitude they have toward a poor white man, what the hell's wrong with you? We design and rig this system for you to get over and benefit. So if you are poor, must be something wrong with you. We don't want to associate with you. You are defective. You are not a real white man. You are a peasant. That's what they used to call them, peasants. Some of the, back in the day when my grandfather was going to call them peckerwoods. All right, everybody. I love you. Love is a verb. Real love is an action word. It is a verb. Show your love. We'll see you live. Once again, thanks everybody for watching. Everybody that was in the chat room, don't forget, every day the show is live. If you would like to support the show financially, you can do it via Zelle or Cash App. No amount is too small or too large. You can Zelle your financial support. Bam! Geno Jones Show at Gmail. All one word, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Or you can use Cash App, $ Dad G Jones, all one word, $ capital D, lowercase a d, capital G J, lowercase o n e s. And if you would like to be a sponsor, I'd love to have you as a sponsor. If you'd like to advertise, we'd love to have you as part of the Geno Jones Show family. All right, so real simple. Shoot me an email once again, Geno Jones Show at Gmail, Geno Jones Show at gmail.com. I'll shoot you all the sponsorship information package. We'll see you live Wednesday. Working Divas Wednesday, Hump Day, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. All right, everybody. Thank you. I love you. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.
When Geraldine and I tell our girls about growing up in the 80s and 90s, it's like talking about a whole different planet.
We used to play outside till the streetlights came on.
We drank straight out of the water hose, ran everywhere, explored, got lost, got hurt, busted our knees, our heads, and our butts. Nobody knew where we were, what we were doing, or who we were with.
I'm Chris Jones. I'm a rocket scientist, a minister, and a girl dad. And I have a theory about why childhood and everything else feels different now. Because gravity hasn't changed, but the price of a trip to the hospital has.
Blue jeans, Jordans, gas, groceries, and health insurance.
Everything is more expensive, and it's scaring us out of risk, innovation, and the joy of life itself. It was more affordable to fall, to fail, to get back up. And our parents trusted America enough to let us run free.
Bankruptcy was for gamblers and crooked real estate developers,
Not middle-class families, not teachers, not cancer patients.
I'm running for Congress because the fall of the American working class wasn't an accident. It was a political decision. Meet my congressman, French Hill, the most powerful banker in America.
He's my opponent, but he's your problem too. He chairs the Financial Services Committee and fights anything that looks like consumer protection. The law to limit overdraft fees to $5.
This is a change that could save American households $5 billion in overdraft charges every year.
French Hill killed it. Yep, they even found a way to make being broke more expensive.
If there's anybody who's got to go, it's him. I'm blessed. I studied hard, earned 2 degrees from Morehouse College, then 2 masters and a PhD from MIT. I married my best friend, who's a combat veteran and an ER doctor. God gave us 3 beautiful daughters, and along that journey, I earned the votes of 319,000 Arkansans who believe we deserve better. I have good news for you. You can still go outside till the streetlights come on. We call it organizing. Just you and a few friends fighting for your freedom, standing up for each other. We have 12 months to win this election.
We have a poll that makes this a 1-point race and a grassroots organization that has been growing for 3.5 years.
This district is full of fighters. We're doing the hard work, and we need you to join us.